Lifting is something we do every day. Think about the things you lift at work and the tools and processes you use to help you lift things safely.
When people use the right equipment and processes to lift materials, it reduces the risk of an injury, often to the back or shoulder. Many lifting injuries are cumulative due to repetitive stress on the body over time.
Today, we will review the city's material handling program and how to move materials safely.
Some jobs require heavy lifting due to unique circumstances or public safety. However, many tasks do not require heavy lifting as a regular part of the job. Lifting equipment is often available. To learn more about lifting equipment available for your job duties, talk to your supervisor. When a heavy lift is required, always try to use available equipment to lift objects instead of manual lifting. If a load must be lifted manually, consider a team lift instead of lifting by yourself. As a general rule, unless specified in the material handling program, employees should not manually lift loads over 50 pounds unassisted. Generally, when ordering supplies, manually handled items should not weigh over 50 pounds. When you are using equipment to move material, ensure that the equipment is properly maintained and in good condition. If it isn't, report it to your supervisor. Material handling equipment should only be used for its designed task. All material handling equipment is marked indicating the working load it will safely support. Do not overload any piece of equipment. Here are some examples of material handling equipment you may use on the job. Two-wheel hand trucks. Be careful not to overload hand trucks or stack items to be moved in an order that could promote movement during transport. Also, make sure two-wheeled hand trucks are stored in a vertical position when not in use. Four-wheel carts and lift carts. Load material evenly onto carts to prevent tipping and obstructing your view. Push rather than pull most carts unless the cart is specifically designed to be pulled. Pallet jacks, manual or powered. Use a pallet jack properly rated for the load. Place the pallet jack on a level, stable, and clean surface. Forklifts. Forklifts can only be used by licensed forklift drivers. If a building has forklifts, supervisors should periodically evaluate forklift training needs. Overhead cranes. Overhead cranes can only be operated by trained employees. If a building has an overhead crane, employees should learn how to operate the crane if it may reduce manual material handling for their job duties. Storage areas should be kept free of excess materials that create hazards. 10-foot safe clearances should be allowed for aisles, at loading docks, through doorways, and wherever turns or passages must be made for material handling equipment. Aisles and passageways should be kept clear and in good repair with no obstruction across or in aisles that could create a hazard.
Just because you're able to lift a heavy load doesn't mean you should do so unassisted, especially when lifting equipment and team lift options aren't available. However, sometimes manual lifting can't be avoided.
Before manual lifting, remember the following. Wear supportive shoes. Decide on the route to take. Check the route for any problems or obstacles such as slippery or cluttered floors. Try to avoid slopes and uneven floors. When possible, push and pull rather than lift and lower. When possible, break up the load to take multiple light trips instead of one trip with a heavy load. When possible, use handles or position the load so that it's easy to grasp. When you lift a load, keep all loads close to and in front of the body between hip and shoulder height. Maintain the center of balance. Keep the back aligned while lifting. Let the legs do the actual lifting. When you lower a load, slowly bend your knees to lower the load. Keep your back straight and the weight close to the center of your body. Allow enough room for fingers and toes when the load is set down. Place the load on a bench or table by resting it on the edge and pushing it forward with your arms and body. Secure the load to ensure that it will not fall, tip over, roll, or block someone's way. Team lift should be used when objects are too heavy, too large, or too awkward for one person to lift. To perform a team lift, work with someone of similar build and height if possible. Choose one person to direct the lift, like lift on the count of 3. Lift with your legs and raise the load to the desired level at the same time. Always try to keep the load at the same level while carrying. Move smoothly and in unison. Set the load down together.
We have reviewed the city's material handling program, material handling equipment, and manual lifting. Using the right equipment and processes reduces the risk of an injury. If you have any questions concerning material handling, talk to your supervisor or the safety office. Thanks for watching.